Hi guys, Joe here with another episode of 5 Question Friday. In today's episode, we are going to be covering what's the best exercise for back fat, should you lift weights in the calorie deficit, I crave food in the evenings, what to do to keep the results coming, what the hell is N.E.A.T, and better understanding of Refeed and how it works. So the first question we got then, what is the best exercise for back fat, reducing back fat? There isn't, okay? I think we've had a similar question before. The best thing to reduce back fat or body fat is a calorie deficit, okay? Obviously, do some training, work those muscles, because when you lose the body fat, reduce the body fat, you will see some good definition coming through, especially on the back, especially if you're talking like the lower part where people call it love handles. Yeah, but there's no exercise that you can do to reduce body fat per se. You can do exercise to elicit a calorie deficit, I was going to say surplus, which in turn will help you lose body fat, but that exercise isn't reducing body fat in your back, okay? You can't spot reduce body fat, guys, sorry. Question number 2 then, should you lift weights in a calorie deficit? Yes, 100% yes you should, okay? You want to try and maintain, protect, and hold on to those muscle tissue, okay? The saying comes to mind, use it or lose it, okay? If you're a cardio bunny and you want to look like a sack of crap, so I'm gonna get hated for that, by the way, then yeah, sure, crack on, do some running for miles and miles and miles, that's great, you'll be brilliant at running, but you're gonna lose the muscle mass, okay? Because your body will be like, well, why are we carrying all this extra tissue? You know, we're not using it, so let's just get rid, okay? And that is how it works, okay? Without the sciencey stuff behind it, your body will reduce the amount of body muscle tissue you are carrying. So definitely get in the gym, do some training. Even if you're a cardio bunny, do some weight training as well, like 3 hours a week. You know, it's nothing major, but it'll have a huge impact on your muscle, okay? Holding on to it. And yes, you can still gain muscle mass whilst in deficit. We're just not going to go down that route with this question. Question number 3 then. I crave food in the evening. What can I do to keep losing weight? Okay, there's 2 approaches, very simple approaches I would suggest. The first one would be calorie backloading. So reduce the amount of calories you eat from waking up until mid-afternoon, and then have the majority of calories in the evening, okay? This works really well if you're a busy person, so you can have like a small lunch, a small breakfast, and maybe a small snack if you need to, and then eat the majority in the evening, which means you can enjoy that food that you're craving so badly in the evening, okay? Another approach would be fasting, which is very similar, but instead of having small snacks, small meals, you have no meals until the evening, especially if it's the evening which you're struggling with. So you would have a window of time whereby you try and get the most calories in, your calories in, not the most. So from 5 o'clock in the evening till 10 o'clock in the evening, you would be eating your calorie target, okay? Outside that time, then you're probably drinking water and a coffee, a black coffee or something stupid like that. But yeah, that's fasting. That's the 2 approaches I'd recommend for those of you that crave food in the evening and want to keep losing weight. But remember, you got to be in a calorie deficit. What is this N.E.A.T that people keep shouting about? That was the next question. N.E.A.T then, or non-exercise associated thermogenesis. Oh yeah, I'm smart. This refers to the calories burnt outside of your training. So when you're walking, where you're doing a school run, when you're getting dressed, when you're doing your hair, when you're cleaning your teeth, when you're doing that stuff in bed. Yeah, that's N.E.A.T, okay? And N.E.A.T accounts for majority of calories burnt compared to your training session. So you burn far greater amount of calories from N.E.A.T than you will in the gym. So if you're that type of person that goes in the gym and kicks ass all the time, so you can't walk for a few days and you can't sit in the toilet for a few days, you're going to have a negative impact on your N.E.A.T, which in turn will probably have a negative impact on your weight loss overall. Well, maybe not a negative, but it will take longer to achieve the results you're trying to get. So bear that in mind, guys. Make sure you're still keeping busy, still fidgeting with your hands and stuff like that. That sounds dodgy. And still hitting your daily steps. Next question you got then is, I would like some more understanding of the refeed day. How does that work? So refeed then, for those who aren't aware, is anything from a day to 7 days, depending where you are in your diet, where you increase your calories. Take it out of a deficit into a surplus, or maybe even just up to maintenance, just above maintenance. Without going all sciencey on your ass, A lot of coaches talk about increased leptin levels, plasma insulin levels, possibly stimulating your leptin gene expression. That's not the reason why I'd say you do a refeed, okay? And I'll explain that a bit more now. There was a study done. They had a group of people and they had them doing a refeed, or they were overfed for from 24 hours up to 72 hours, so a day to 3 days, yes? And they were tested, they assessed them over that period. Now, there was little change from the 24 hours, but for the 72 hours, there was an increase of energy expenditure by about 7%. So in the context of things, when it comes to this, the subjects were given 500 calories extra, so a surplus of 500 calories for 3 days, all coming from calories. What the hell are calories? From carbohydrates. And this led to an increase in energy expenditure of 140 calories. So in the grand scheme of things, that's not much, and it probably was due to an increase in N.E.A.T, okay, like I spoke about just now. Probably an increase in N.E.A.T because they had more energy, okay. I'll get onto the reason why it was carbs as well, as opposed to just fats or protein, but we'll touch on it in a minute. As soon as you resume the diet again, those levels, so the insulin, the leptin, drop straight back down to where they were pre-refeed. So that goes to show that it doesn't really have much of an impact on your hormones, okay? The reason for the increase in carbs, as opposed to anything else, is to increase your glycogen, okay? So if you have like a heavy training day that evening, or the following morning or something like that, it'll help with the training intensity, because your muscles are full of glycogen again, okay? Because it does deplete over time in a calorie deficit. Where I see it being most beneficial, and probably the reason why I would recommend a refeed, not because of leptin levels and insulin levels, was be for from an adherence standpoint, okay? So an adherence to your diet, your nutrition approach. If you have a diet break, or what we're talking about is a refeed, then you're gonna stick to that diet for a long period of time, because you're gonna avoid the diet fatigue. Diet fatigue being when you're sick and tired of following the same nutrition approach, eating the same things all the time. So you're like, screw this, give me the Ben and Jerry's, okay? We're gonna try and reduce that by having a diet break. Which means you're more adherent post-refeed, okay, after your refeed. I wouldn't say that is beneficial. It's a great practice, it's a great thing to do, but calories in, calories out is king, okay? So if you go like balls to the wall on your refeed and you eat all the calories, okay, all of them, like everything you can find, you're gonna do more harm than good, okay? So that is what a refeed is. It could be anything from 1 day up to 7 days, depending where you are in your diet, okay? For competitors especially, after a competition, they may take 7 days out, where they go up to maintenance or surplus for 7 days, just to replenish their levels, feel a bit more energized, and have a break, okay? Because dieting is tough. If you're just doing general weight loss, I would think like a day, maybe 2 days. Anything more than that, you're probably going to lose the plot, okay? So that is what it is. That's how it works. Hopefully that answered that question. Hopefully you've enjoyed learned something rather from the 5 question Friday today, guys. If you've got any questions you'd like featured, just drop us a message. That's how people are working these days, and we'll feature in a video. Until next Friday, have a nice weekend, guys, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.